Buona dimineața. It is the 8th of May, 2026, and it's a Friday. It's about 8:30 in the morning. Temperatures in the mid-50s. Let's get up to 74 today. We are leaving the village of Pianu de Sus and heading to Cugir. It's expected to be a longer day, over 3,000 feet elevation gain, and about 18 or so miles, unless we can clip that, and we will try. The trail, if you look at the segment, and it's a regular segment, the segment comes in from the north into Cugir and through another village. And we might find a way to just to clip that instead of heading north through that other village. Just kind of come straight over, head west into Cugir. But it looks like we've got to go around some kind of military base or something in Cugir. But anyway, we'll see what we can do. But longer day today. Forecasted weather is no precipitation, but the clouds look kind of ominous somewhat. A little bit more humid today, but cooler right now. We got the sunblock on and hoodies on in case the sun does decide to come out full. What else? Oh, so we stayed at Casa Dives, D-I-V-E-S. Reserved it through booking.com. Really nice. It was, the bad part is it's 0.6 miles sort of off the trail, so you have to go down the valley a little bit. The incline isn't so bad, but 0.6 miles away from the trail. And then of course coming in the morning, this morning we had to work our way back, and so we added 0.6 miles to our trip today. But the place was really nice. Wow, what a little retreat. They had a swimming pool, hot tub, sauna, massage table. So the way they described it is you could get, with the reservation, you get 1 hour of wellness, which we interpreted as you could spend 1 hour in the sauna, you could spend 1 hour in the hot tub, you could spend an hour in the pool maybe, or maybe more in the pool. Not sure. They actually have it covered, and they can uncover it quickly enough. But so we interpreted that. So we took our hour and just sat in the jacuzzi for an hour, which is pretty nice. There is a store in the center of the village, grocery store, small, but we were able to buy some beer and some radlers and take that to our accommodations last night. The Casa Dives also had, you could buy beer and drinks there, which we did. We bought a beer, nothing more. They met us and they had a complimentary drink, and it was a pitcher of Palinka, and way more than we wanted to drink or could drink. You know, it's super strong. So we just had a couple little shot glasses of mostly to be polite. I'm not liking the taste so much, but anyway, very accommodating. Just great conversation with the gentleman, landlord, his wife, as a landlord. She does a lot of work around the place. She's made us dinner, and so we did have to pay extra for dinner. It came with breakfast. Breakfast was a typical omelet and cheese and meats, etc. The little fire salamander they did on the road, and dinner was beef. It was like a roast of some kind of stew with rice, sort of flavored rice. Really good. Yeah, wonderful dinner. And we were surprised that it was beef, because that's one of the first times people have served us beef as a meal. Usually it's pork or maybe, well, it's pork usually, but really good. What else? Yeah, the place is like a little resort with all those sort of spa stuff, and it also has like a little mini soccer pitch for kids, real small. Had a little archery target thing, had swing sets, it had a fire pit, it had a wood-fired hot tub as well. That wasn't used though. We just used the one that was electrical, that was inside. So very convenient. And they gave us nice robes to wear up there. It's, you know, it's a little walk, maybe 60 feet from our room. Room was well pointed. Just can't say enough about the place. Although shower stall was teeny tiny. Hard to, for somebody tall like me, 6'3", I'm shrinking though, and gangly arms and legs. It was hard to maneuver in that shower stall. But very nice, very clean, and very accommodating hosts. Just, yeah, well worth it. The extra walk out of town, or not out of town, but further into town, and then back this morning. So one thing we've seen a lot of, I'll show you this, firewood, right? So yesterday, it was pretty interesting to see in the town, this older gentleman who had a cane, and he was kind of lurched, bent over, holding a cane. He was watching this other gentleman cut these huge logs sitting out what I presume to be his house. These logs were these beech trees, like we just saw. And the guy was cutting them into, the huge logs, cutting them into lengths like maybe a foot. And yesterday, the older gentleman must have paid for somebody to have those logs delivered to his house. And he probably paid somebody to cut the wood. And he'll presumably, since he was older, probably pay somebody to split the wood so that he's got firewood for, you know, this coming year or whenever it's needed, I suppose. But just seems to be a common occurrence. A lot of places, people buy the wood, people pay to get the wood delivered. The wood gets split, and then they use it for home heating, for water, for radiators, etc. It's pretty interesting occurrence. So anyway, so today, that's what we're headed to, Cugir. As I mentioned yesterday, we booked an apartment that we're going to stay 2 nights in, and then we're going to work our path forward from there. Oh, heading up this pretty steep incline right now, and you can see you really can't walk on the left side or the right side unless you're really long-legged. So you're kind of stuck walking in the middle and hoping you're not going to twist your ankle on the leaves or what's beneath them. Oh boy, so it's been an hour and 30 minutes since we left the village of Pianu de Sus, and we've traveled 4 miles in that hour and 30 minutes, and we are still going up. Tammy thinks we've got another mile of up. Boy, yeah, this is a significant up. This reminds us of the first few days on the trail coming out of Putna. Oh my goodness, yeah, this is a lot up. This is a tough day. So we've only gone 1,300 feet elevation gain. We still have 1,700 more to go. Whew. Just past the 815 kilometer stone, and we are at the high point for the day. And we decided to take a little break here in this nice short dry grass, and while we were doing so, these cows came up over that ridge to the right there and decided to join us. So that's pretty cool. Looks like there's some younger ones in there. Very friendly animals. Not like some of the dogs around here, but yeah, really nice. And boy, we got a wonderful view from up here. I'm not sure what elevation we're at, but golly, it's gorgeous. Look at that. Trail continues there. You can see Tammy walking over there by the trail sign. A fire salamander. Pretty good size too. Looks like he's about 6 or 8 inches maybe. Head to tail. I almost stepped on him and sat on him. Looks like we might have a spring coming out of that well right there, but obviously coming out of the mountain. The fact that there's a little cup on top suggests to me that it might be potable, but we're good with water for now. So it's almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're coming up to kilometer stone 823. You can see right here on the right. Oh, that's funny, kind of faces. And it is probably in the low 70s right now. We're walking on this, what I'd call a logging road, because we saw lots of logs up there. But it's nice as there's a little babbling brook to our left. That's sort of we're following down this valley. And it's partially shaded, but there's a nice cool breeze blowing, so it's not too uncomfortable. But got a few more kilometers to go. We're going to go up to about kilometer stone 826, and then we're going to make a left turn off the Via Transilvanica toward Cugir. The trail continues toward the right and north toward a town that begins with a V. I forget the name of it, but we're going to try to cut a few kilometers off if there's a suitable path at that kilometer stone 826. So we just left the Via Transilvanica, just past kilometer stone 826, and we're navigating our way on what appears to be a very limited kind of trail, but we're gonna give it a go anyway. Well, we got a little lost on our detour off the Via Transilvanica, skipping the town that begins with a V and heading straight to Cugir. We think it's pronounced Cugir. So we tried using the Via Transilvanica app to locate the trail or the dirt road or whatever it was, which did show on the map, and it showed on AllTrails, but we had a heck of a time sticking to that. So sure enough, we did a Google Maps. How do we get to Cugir? And it said, oh, you're here, 45-minute walk from this point, follow these roads. And you can see the road that we're following. It's sort of a farm road. We'll call this a farm road, not a logging road. But anyway, we're on our way to Cugir, and Google Maps is gonna bring us home. So we left the Via Transilvanica at kilometer stone 826, and we got a little lost. We tried to follow a trail that showed up on the Via Transilvanica app. A trail, a logging road, a farm road, not sure what it was, but a smaller access road. Tried to follow that. We didn't do very well. There were several trails, sort of old ones, newer ones in the woods. We tried following them, and we kind of got off track and ended up a little bit too far south, I think. So we ended up down in a valley, and using Google Maps to sort of point us in the direction toward Cugir. And sure enough, we were down in that valley, and somebody rode up. We were in this pasture land. It looked like we're out in the middle of nowhere. Somebody drove up in a four-wheel drive Jeep, and Romanian, of course. And we asked him, he asked us a question. We said Cugir. He said, Cugir? And we pointed in a direction. He said, yeah, Cugir, that way. So sure enough, we followed the farm roads from where we were and on to now sort of these old, sort of side roads that are on the outskirts of Cugir. But the point being, so we left at kilometer stone 826, and by the time we get to our destination in Cugir, it'll be a little bit more than an hour and a half from the point we departed the Via Transilvanica trail. The alternative would have been head north on the Via Transilvanica trail and go to that town that begins with a V, and then head back down toward Cugir. And we'll do the math to figure out, see how many kilometer stones we missed out on. But we think we saved a whole lot of time for sure. Got a little lost, but that's okay. It's part of the adventure. And, you know, people might say, oh, you're cheating. It's not fair. No, you shouldn't do that. But, you know, we're still spending 2 months in Romania hiking on their trails and learning as much as we can about the culture and the people and the region and the geography and the history. So if we cut a few kilometers off here and there, I think, well, you can judge us if you want, but we feel quite comfortable with that.